Okay, last we left off, we had our beautiful little ecosystem that we built, and yay, look, even a bunny came to town. That's great because we can eat it. Now, we have a pretty functioning ecosystem here, except this beautiful place that we have built is now attractive to other animals, and a deer has come and found the same resource that the bunny is trying to get after. So now with two of them going after the same resource, it is starting to diminish. This is not good. This will put these two into what's called competition. They're not actually going to fight each other, but they are going to be competing for the same limited resource. So as it starts to dwindle away, we need to figure what in the world does competition mean? It doesn't mean they're playing against each other in a sport, but what it does mean is there are different organisms trying to gain access to the same limited resources in an ecosystem. So they're after those same abiotic or biotic resources that we were talking about before. So as these two are starting to compete, though, it's not a physical competition with these two, but they've got to use their species specific characteristics. So the bunny's special tools, which might be to be able to hide, or the deer's special tools, which might be its size and its intimidation to get at those resources as they compete. So let's go ahead and break down the performance expectation like we normally do. Think while I'm reading out loud. What do you think the SEP will be? What do you think the cross-cutting concept will be? If you want to pause it really quickly before I read it out loud and think, you can certainly do that. So we're going to construct an explanation that predicts patterns of interactions among organisms, which just means living things, across multiple ecosystems. So let's go ahead and take a look at it and break it down. So you're going to pause this video here in just a second, but I need you to get a couple of things ready. You're going to open up a new tab and open up this bit.ly to be able to go to the site where we break it down. Also get a whiteboard and a marker or a pen and pencil so that we can break down the performance expectation. Go ahead and pause the video and get those things together. Okay, I'm assuming you now have everything together and we are back up and running again. So for the first step, as we normally do, what is our SEP or science and engineering practice going to be? What do they expect us to be able to do for this performance expectation? Use that link, go ahead and write it down on a white piece of paper, pause this video, come back when you are ready. All right, so now that you are back, we are going to ask a question. So there'll be a question embedded in the video and you can go ahead and try to answer it now. Good job, I'm assuming. So we are back a few moments later and we can continue on. So we are going to be constructing explanations to predict something. We're going to be looking for a way to explain how we can predict something. What are we predicting? This is what we need to now be able to know. So if you remember, the DCI stands for the disciplinary core idea. What are we going to explain and what are we making predictions about? So find what our DCI is for this performance expectation, and also please read the clarifying statement, which is the little blue button right underneath the performance expectation. Go ahead and pause the video, come on back once you have written down the DCI and read the clarifying statement. All right, I'm assuming that you have done that and you are now ready to answer a question. Isn't he cute? Little dog. Okay, so go ahead and answer the question below. All right, great job. We are moving right along. So a little longer than a few minutes later, we will continue. So now we know that we are constructing an explanation to predict how those patterns of living things, the interaction of organisms, can be predicted across multiple ecosystems. So can I predict how predator and prey will react in one ecosystem versus another? Do predator and prey in the ocean act the same way as predator and prey in a desert? So now we're moving down to the cross-cutting concept. And think first. This one should be easy. If you need to go back and read the performance expectation again, then you can do so. And think to yourself, what is the cross-cutting concept? After you've made some intelligent choices and justifications, then you can look through the actual answer. Pause the video here and then come back after you've thought about it. Okay, another question for you. And that one should have been fast, so we are already back. So we will be looking for patterns of how these things interact as they are looking across multiple ecosystems. So next, you are going to be learning about vocabulary used to describe the interactions between living beings in varying ecosystems so that you can use the necessary terms to discuss patterns of interactions. I'll know you've got it when you can succeed the first time through the Canvas vocabulary quiz. All right, so what we are going to do is stop here and I'm going to give you a daily password. Today's password is SpongeBob.